how do you get ready for coming to Switzerland to work with Etoiles?
It's quite a difficult job coming into a band that's already been working on a piece for a long time, so I have to prepare myself pretty thoroughly for that first rehearsal, and I always tell myself that I must be able to conduct that piece as if it was the competition right there in the first rehearsal, because the band's been working for quite some time and they have a great chef that prepares them very well. So for me to come in unprepared, that would be an insult to the people, so I'd simply prepare myself very well as I can.
What do you do then after the first rehearsal? Do you change things?
Oh yeah, you have to change things because it's a bit like being I always think it's a bit like being a tailor, and you have this suit that you've made for the customer, and the first rehearsal is really like a fitting, where you take the measurements and you really make it fit for the players, because each piece needs to be crafted onto the band that you have in front of you, because each band is different, they have their own characteristics. So I tend to mould the piece around the band rather than impose the piece on the band. And I think that's most successful for the musicians because like that you can really exploit the characteristics of a given ensemble and make it sound really as good as they can sound, which is the only thing that a guest conductor can really do.
As a guest conductor, how do you work with your resident conductor, James?
Oh, well, he's the best person I've ever worked with, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on an interview of Etoiles. It's uncanny when we email each other and say, what shall we beat in this particular bar? And it's always the same. And sometimes we have a little meeting just before the first rehearsal, if we haven't been able to communicate by email beforehand. And we compare scores, and the markings are, I would say 90% of the time, identical. And I've never experienced that with another person I've worked with. The other thing is, working with Geo, is that I really trust his judgment. Yeah, I trust him to say to me, that's too fast, or that's okay, or we can't hear this, or your beat is not clear enough, which he's never said, but I take his advice because I respect him enormously.